Today's video is going to be the top 20 boxing movies. Starting off with number 20, Great White Hype. Boxing promoter the Rev. Fred Sultan decides the best way to revive public interest in his top clients' matches is to create a white challenger to his black champion, James the Grim Reaper Roper. With no white boxers available, he creates one out of dim grudge rocker Terry Copeland, who once defeated Roper at an amateur match. But while Copeland trains hard, Roper slacks off, endangering Sultan's careful staged comeback. Number 19. Jungle Land. When a devastating loss in the ring leaves Lion and his manager brother Stan in debt with a local crime boss, they are forced to risk it all in a bare-knuckle boxing tournament as the pair fight for a better life. Number 18. Undisputed. This story is about undefeated world champion prizefighter who was convicted of rape and sent to prison, where he must confront and ultimately fight the reigning prison boxing champion. One man fighting for his honor, another man fighting for his future. Only one will emerge from the ring undisputed. Number 17. Tyson. Story of Mike Tyson. From his early days as a 12-year-old amateur with a powerful punch to the undisputed title of heavyweight world champion, but ultimately to his conviction of rape. The story of his turbulent life moves quickly, never focusing too long on anything particular. Number 16. Hands of Stone. At age 72, legendary trainer Ray Arcel comes out of retirement to coach world-class Panamanian boxer Roberto Duran. Arcel becomes a mentor to the ferocious fighter, convincing him that winning ultimately comes down to strategy. After scoring knockout after knockout, Duran prepares for a bout against Sugar Ray Leonard, the undefeated lightweight champion. 5 months later, on November 25th, 1980, the two titans meet for an infamous rematch that becomes boxing history. Number 15. Resurrecting the Champ. Things are not going well for Eric Herndon. Eric, a sports reporter, is covering the Bush Leagues because his editor thinks that he cannot cut it as a writer. On top of that, his marriage is disintegrating. But one night, he rescues a homeless man and discovers that the guy is battling Bob Shatterfield, a former boxer rumored to be dead. Eric sees a chance to give his career a much-needed boost by writing the athlete's story. Number 14. With wit and athletic genius, with defiant rage and inner grace, Muhammad Ali forever changed the American landscape. Fighting all comers, Ali took on the law, conventions, the status quo, and the war, as well as the fists in front of him. Ali both ignited and mirrored the conflicts of his time and ours to become one of the most admired fighters in the world. Number 13. Rocky IV. After reclaiming the boxing championship title, Rocky Balboa plans to retire and live his life with his wife, Adrian. However, during an exhibition match, Rocky's friend Apollo Creed is mercilessly beaten to death by hulking Russian newcomer Ivan Drago. Rocky vows payback against Drago and flies to Russia to train for his Christmas Day fight. Despite their different training methods, Rocky and Drago both wage a long and intense match. Number 12. Real Steel. Charlie Kenton used to be a prize fighter, but lost his chance to win a title when heavy, towering robots took over the boxing ring. Now working as a small-time promoter, Charlie reluctantly teams with his estranged son Max to build and to train a championship robot for a last shot at redemption. Number 11. Bleed for this. Vinny the Tasmanian Devil Pazenza, a local Providence boxer, shoots to stardom after winning 2 world title fights. After a near-fatal car accident leaves him with a broken neck, he is told he may never walk again. Against all odds and doctor's orders, renewed trainer Kevin Rooney agrees to help Vinny return to the ring just a year after the accident for what could be the last fight of his life, based on a true story. Number 10. Creed 2. 1985, Russian boxer Ivan Drago killed former U.S. champion Apollo Creed in a tragic match that stunned the world. Against the wishes of trainer Rocky Balboa, Apollo's son Adonis Johnson accepts the challenge from Drago's son, another dangerous fighter. Under guidance from Rocky, Adonis trains for the showdown of his lifetime, a date with destiny that soon becomes obsession. Now Johnson and Balboa must confront their shared legacy as the past comes back to haunt each man. Number 9. Rocky Balboa. Long retired, Rocky runs a Philadelphia eatery and mourns the loss of his beloved wife, Adrian. Yearning to recapture a bit of his glory days, he plans to re-enter the ring for a few low-profile local matches. All that changes when Rocky accepts to fight the world's reigning heavyweight champion, Mason "The Line" Dixon. Number 8. Denzel Washington is Reuben "Hurricane" Carter, a man whose dreams of winning the middleweight boxing title were destroyed when he was arrested along with another man for the murders of 3 people in a New Jersey bar. Wrongfully accused, Carter and John Artis were sentenced to 3 life terms in prison. Number 7. Rocky 2. Low working-class Philadelphia boxer Rocky Balboa lost his high-profile bout with the cocky world champion Apollo Creed. His Cinderella story has caught the national sports media's attention, and he now has the opportunity to capitalize on his sudden fame. Meanwhile, Creed is still smartening from nearly losing to some nobody. Number 6. Cinderella Man. In the Great Depression, ex-boxer James J. Braddock works as a day laborer until his former manager Joe Glaude offers him a one-time shot against the rising young contender. After he wins a shocking upset, Braddock goes back into the ring full-time, against the wishes of his frightened wife, May. Dubbed the Cinderella Man for his rags-to-riches story, Braddock sets his sights on defending champion, the fearful Max Brewer. Number 5. $1 Million Baby. Frankie Dunn is a veteran Los Angeles boxing trainer who keeps almost everyone at an arm's length, except for his old friend and associate Eddie Scrap Iron Dupree. When Maggie Fitzgerald arrives at Frankie's gym seeking his expertise, he is reluctant to train the young woman. He eventually relents and the two form a close bond that will change their lives. Number 4. Rocky Number 1. Balboa, a small-time boxer from working-class Philadelphia, is admirably chosen to take on reigning world heavyweight champion Apollo Creed when the undefeated fighter's scheduled opponent is injured. While training for the feisty former bantamweight contender Mickey Goldmill, Rocky tentatively begins a relationship with Adrian, a wallflower sister of his meatpacker male Paulie. Number 3. Raging Bull. Story of a middleweight boxer as he rises through the ranks to earn his first shot at the middleweight crown. He falls in love with a gorgeous girl from the Bronx. The inability to express his feelings enters into the ring and eventually takes over his life. He eventually is sent into a downward spiral that costs him everything. Number 2. Southpaw. Billy the Great Hope, the reigning junior middleweight boxing champion, has an impressive career, a loving wife and daughter, and a lavish lifestyle. However, when tragedy strikes, Billy hits rock bottom, losing his family, his house, and his manager. He soon finds his unlikely savior in Tick Willis, a former fighter who trains the city's toughest amateur boxers. With his future on the line, Hope fights to reclaim the trust of those who he loves the most. Okay, so here we are, number 1. Before I get to this one, I just wanted to say if you guys enjoyed this content, then definitely go hit that like button. And if you guys want to see more of this, then hit the subscribe button. I have a lot more of this content coming and a lot more similar content. I also have MMA content and much more. Go check the channel. But I appreciate you guys watching this. Here's number 1. The Fighter. For Mickey Ward, boxing is a family affair. His tough-as-nails mother is his manager. His half-brother, Dickie, once a promising boxer himself, is his very unreliable boxer. Despite Mickey's hard work, he is losing, and when the latest fight nearly kills him, he follows his girlfriend's advice and splits from the family. Then Mickey becomes a contender for the world title. He and his family earns a shot at redemption.